Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
And I am Tayo Salam.
All right,
let's get up the show. The AFCON still getting us talking. Exciting games went down yesterday. None bigger than Esteban Obiang stunning defending champions Algeria 1-0. That's how that scoreline ended.
remember that name. 35 games unbeaten run. They just needed 2 to equal the record set by Italy, but it just wasn't to be on the night because Algeria, defending champions, they are yet to score a goal in the Africa Cup of Nations.
Incredible stuff.
Also on the program, it was a 5-star performance from Plateau United with Anthony Sunday scoring a brace for them to beat Dakar FC by 5-0.
Yes, that's the biggest win of the season. Plateau United, I think, finally have arrived. A fantastic victory for them over the Dakar. We have more details on the Nigerian Professional Football League for you later on the show, including the thriller that went down in Ibadan between Sunshine Stars and Shooting Stars, the Battle of the Stars. Also on the program this time around, at the Australian Open, it's finally served off after the Novak Djokovic saga ended yesterday, and the winning start for Naomi Osaka, defending champion, and Rafael Nadal was aiming for a record 21st major. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. There's no time to waste. We're going to dive straight into our AFCON segment because, like I said at the start of the show, exciting games all through yesterday. We're not going to be doing this part alone, as you can see, or as you're going to see very soon. We've got a guest. Our Monday guest is going to be joining us. Oyewuchi Nwachukwu, who is the deputy sports editor for the Sports and Life newspapers. Oyewuchi, good morning. It's great to have you on the show again.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo.
Yeah.
What a tournament.
What a tournament.
What a time to be in the studio. You know, exciting matches. You really can't predict what is going to happen. And I mean, the Nations Cup is throwing out so much upsets, and the bigger teams are worried.
Yeah.
Teams like Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia are being stunned.
Wow.
You know, so we thank God that our own Spagos have not been stunned.
Yeah.
They are marching on, and we hope it continues that way.
Okay,
the only thing we expect from AFCON is the fact that Super Eagles will always win.
Okay.
That's the only thing that is not shocking, right?
Anyways, Austin Okonakman is also champing at the beat to join us from our London studios. Austin, good morning. You're welcome to the show. What's up?
Sporty greetings to you, Tayo, Cecilia, and of course, Oyewuchi Nwachukwu. And not forgetting our viewers from all over the world. It's good to be on the show this morning. And it's all about the AFCON. Guys, the audacity by Sierra Leone and Equatorial Guinea. Gracious goodness. African football got us talking over the weekend.
Indeed, you can say that again, Austin. Let's not waste any further time. In case you somehow missed the results of the games that went down yesterday. For me, yesterday I thought was the most exciting of the AFCON tournaments so far in terms of the fixtures and the results that we saw. Those are a confirmation of the results for you, starting off with the matchup between Mali and Gambia. The Gambia still having a very good run so far, ended 1 apiece. VAR drama, penalties. Yeah, that's how that game was concluded. Elsewhere, Cote d'Ivoire and Sierra Leone ended 2 apiece. We saw a goalkeeping howler right there from the Ivorians, and that's how Sierra Leone were able to get a point in that victory. No issues whatsoever for Tunisia. I guess they were still smarting from the manner in which they lost the first game to Mali. They absolutely destroyed Mauritania by 4-0, and it was their captain, Wabi Kadri, scoring 2 goals in that game as Khazri for the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. And the biggest upset so far went down between Algeria, defending champions, and Equatorial Guinea. Esteban Obiang Fernandez, those names, watch out for it going forward. 1-0 Equatorial Guinea over the Desert Foxes of Algeria. Onye, let's start with you straight away. Results that you never saw coming. Or did you?
Yeah, I mean, who could ever predict that Equatorial will beat Algeria? You can't put your money on that.
Yeah.
That would be, it would be too brave and too courageous to do that. But for the Equatorial Guineans, this is the first time they are going to qualify. You know, when the last time they hosted and co-hosted. So this is the time. This is the first year. Yeah. So we watched the game yesterday, and the goal was such a stunner. Algerians will rue some of the chances they missed.
Of course.
It has not been a fine tournament for them. The first game they played, a lot of arguments about the weather, but they played under a cooler weather.
Yes.
So they really didn't have any excuse. I think the Equatorial Guineans believed in themselves. Players in the lower leagues in Europe, some in Spain, some in Portugal. But this tournament, Cecilia, have shown that what you really need, not the stars. If you have the stars, it's good. But the commitment of the players as a team, playing together, believing in themselves, and going ahead to stun, high-profile sides. The Guineans have shown that, the Sierra Leoneans have shown that, and it could go on and on. Look at Gambia. This is the first time they're going to qualify for the Nations Cup, and they are almost at the verge of picking the last 16. Yeah. In fact, with 4 points, they are almost guaranteed of being, among the third best place team. So, and what can you say about Mali? Mali are always star-studded. They have young players. They come to the tournament. They play good football. But maybe this could be the turning around, for them at the African Cup of Nations. Then, Cote d'Ivoire and Sierra Leone, you said that the howler from the goalkeeper. I mean, Ivorians have had issues with goalkeeping of late. I think Sylvain Boho was banned by FIFA after failing a doping test. They got their goalkeeper Sangne to fill in for him. But he obviously committed that howler in the 3rd minute of added time, and it was such a shame for him.
Yeah, celebrations all over Freetown. Of course, very unlikely points for them against the almighty Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. Austin, let's go back to you and let's go back to Algeria. After 2 games, defending champions are bottom of their group.
It's unbelievable, I kept looking at that group. I tweeted something last night that whoever thought this is what this group will look like after 2 matches should come out. Nobody, absolutely nobody would have thought that after 2 matches, Sierra Leone and Equatorial Guinea will be ahead of the defending champions, Algeria. And I just can't understand what's going on with Algeria, because they have a very decent team, But it is football where anything can happen. And if you watch that game against Equatorial Guinea, they kept on pushing and believing until they got that goal. It's quite unfortunate for Algeria, because that loss didn't just only put them at the bottom of the group in the AFCON, it ended their unbeaten run. And there's just something that does to you. So let's see what they can do, because now it's going to be Clash of the Titans when they meet Cote d'Ivoire. Because the way that group is now, anything can go on, anything can happen. Because Sierra Leone, they are beaming with confidence. They will go on to play Equatorial Guinea. At the time they were ending this game that finished 2-2 with Cote d'Ivoire, they would have been saying, they will go and run over Equatorial Guinea. Then Equatorial Guinea stunned Algeria. That man right there, Moussa Camara, what a performance. I feel for Sangare, but it doesn't take anything out of the brave fight that Sierra Leone gave. And I love what he's doing to the people of Sierra Leone. I've been following them. Tayo, look, the country is singing and dancing. They are happy. That's the power of football. It can unify a country, and I love it so much.
We love it so much indeed. Cote d'Ivoire were 2 minutes away from bagging maximum points against the Leon Stars, but it wasn't meant to be. Goalkeeper dropped a clanger in that one. Austin, I can understand what you say you feel for the goalkeeper. Horrible mistake that Sierra Leone pounced on, and that's how that game ended 2 apiece. And that group is going to go down to the wire, and it's very interesting to see how the final group games play out. Cecilia, let's
get reaction. Before we move on with the show, we get reaction from the coach of Sierra Leone. He's obviously excited this morning, because when you look at the table, they're third, 2 points from 2 games, and the big teams they faced, Cote d'Ivoire and Algeria, and they're getting points for those 2 teams. Let's get reaction from Kester.
Just introducing ourselves, so we're happy with that. You know, to be honest, what we want after this is that we as a country, we're coming into AFCON every 2 years. That's, for me, that's the benchmark. You know, we've been away for too long. So hopefully with the introduction of what we're doing now, that will help us, you know. But don't forget, you know, African football has changed. You know, there's no easy games anymore.
African football obviously have changed. Remember when they came to Nigeria, Super Eagles were leading 4-0 going into the half. And what happened in the second half of the game? They scored 4 goals. I believe teams like Côte d'Ivoire and Algeria never saw the script. So maybe that's the reason they were complacent. And of course, completely, Sierra Leone have gotten 2 points from two powerhouses when it comes to football in Africa. So let's leave the games that were played on Sunday and quickly go to what happened on Saturday, especially with the Super Eagles of Nigeria against Sudan. Yes, it was always going to be a win for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, but the scoreline was really impressive. 3-1. All the big sides at this tournament, from Egypt to Algeria to Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, they are floundering, except Cameroon, host nation, of course. But Nigeria, also not floundering, they are living up to expectations.
2 games.
Yeah.
2 wins
points
into the round of 16.
I think what the tournament has shown is that you can't rely on superstars. You have to prove your mettle on the day. You have to justify why you're highly rated. You don't come to the field and you don't show any form of commitment. You don't have zeal, desire to win the game. So I think some of these countries that have floundered, like Cecilia said, should look at, the individuals, the players, the so-called star players, should look at their performances and wonder if they really did justice to the jersey, to the country they are representing. But for Nigeria against Sudan, it was an accomplished performance. The Super Eagles scored at very crucial moments. In the opening minutes in the first half, they scored. In the dying minutes of the second half, they also scored. The same thing in the second half. Yes, the penalty was just a disservice, but the Sudanese also deserve something from the game because their coach made some changes in the dying minutes, and that also put a lot of pressure on our defense. So, but we have 6 points, and the boys are doing well. Samuel Moses, I've never seen him in such a devastating form for the Super Eagles. And I listened to his interview after the first game. He said that Guavon has given him the latitude, the freedom to operate. Yeah. And I think that could be the secret of his form of raid. Yeah, he scored one and made an assist. Yeah. In fact, the goal he scored, he created it.
He created it, yeah. Let's quickly go to Austin. Austin, Oyenwuchi just mentioned what Moses Simon said after the first game. And of course, he was the man of the match in the game against Sudan. It simply means that under Coach Gennett role, he was playing the position he wasn't happy with. And his performance, we couldn't see it. But right now, we are seeing everything. What is Guavon really doing right?
I think only Austin Guavon can say it. But what I know is they've done a good job with the mentality of this team. And sometimes, guys, it happens whenever you change a coach. These players just, they look and feel changes. They want to impress because they know it's not just about the coach. It's about them also. If the fans are not happy with the performances and the coach is gone, then they'll start questioning the players next. With Moses Simon, his quality has always been there. And before the AFCON, he was in a good form with Nance. A lot of people are forgetting that. He was scoring fantastic goals. He scored a screamer in one of the French Ligue 1 matches before he came to the AFCON. So I saw him beaming with confidence, and he has always shown that quality. Whether or not Coach Gennaro was able to play him in the right position, but he was a regular in the team to an extent. Remember when we went to Cameroon during the qualifiers, he scored a very crucial goal that ensured that we didn't lose right there in Yaoundé. So Moses Simon, it's about time for some of the players who have been in the team for quite some time to prove themselves, and he's one of them. I have him, Alex Iwobi, and to an extent Kelechi Iheanacho, to start, commanding their presence, and we're beginning to see that. So it's about the players for me most times. When Cristiano Ronaldo said I had to jump on it, but no doubt Coach Austin Guavon and his technical crew, they've done a good job in talking to these players and making them believe in themselves. So there's a renewed faith, there's a renewed confidence, and if you listen to Ola Aina, you can tell that these guys are not joking. Even against Guinea-Bissau, they say they must go there with confidence. So That's what is actually working for the team. And as Moses Simon said, it wasn't just man of the match. It was the team that won the award.
Yes,
Austin, you're spot on. Whenever players cross that white line, it's all down to them. So they've got to go and deliver. And for Moses Simon, he's being criticized a lot of times under Guinea. People didn't understand why Guinea was picking this guy a lot of times. And the new coach is coming, is stuck with him, and he's starting to deliver indeed. Nigerians are very, very impressed with Super Eagles' performance so far, especially against Sudan, that has secured their qualification for the round of 16 with a game to spare. Guess who's also impressed? Former Super Eagles players. Let's listen to Victor Okpeba, Ifeanyi Udeze, as well as Julius Agao speaking on Nigeria's performance at the AFCON so far.
2 wins from 2. It's a good start. We can't say we are not happy about it, especially how the boys got to the Nations Cup. The preparation wasn't there. Not good result against Central Republic. The game against Cape Verde. You know, a lot of criticism towards this team to the build up to the Nations Cup. So far they've done well. I think so proud of that. We go to the next round now. So I think for Iguavon being in charge of the team, he has touched on some areas. The boys have shown a lot of motivation, a lot of character, and desire to do well with the national team. So I want to say congratulations to them for qualifying for the next round.
The fact that the Super Eagles played very exciting football, a lot of possession, though in the opponent half we didn't get that creativity that we wanted, but all in all, 2 games, 6 points, we are good to go. I think this is a walk in the park. In the last game, is just for us to play those guys that have not had a playing time, so that we can sail to the next round.
For me, it's not an important game, but at the same time, it's an important game. Why? Because we need to top our group to avoid some certain teams like Algeria. You know, we need to top our group. You know, so we need to come forward. So we should be very, very careful. I expect him also to play. You know, for sure, he's going to feature some players who has not been playing. Who have not had really playing time, you know, in the past games. So now is the opportunity to give them the opportunity to go in and showcase themselves. So for me, he needs to let them understand that, yes, it's a must-win. Our next game against Guinea-Bissau is a must-win.
As if Udeze, former Super Eagles left back, must win against Guinea-Bissau. It's always good to sustain the momentum in tournaments of this stature. And that's what Augustine Egonvon is saying as well, to not underestimating any opponents, and Super Eagles, of course, are looking forward to knowing who their last 16 opponents is going to be. Let's take a listen now to Augustine Egonvon.
These first 2 games, it's a little bit difficult to take risk. It's better to play with people that knows themselves. You know, I can't say, hey, you be out, C in, A out. So it would be a bit of a risk, you know. So that was why we maintained what we had. But again, every team that have come here are good enough to win this trophy. So whoever comes our way, to be a champion, should be ready to play against any team. So any team that comes our way will be prepared to play.
Super Eagles ready to face any team in their next round of the AFCON, Ghana, Morocco, Gabon. I don't know. Anyways, we need to go on a break now. We'll come back. I'll continue our review of the games that were played at AFCON, as well as a preview of the matches that will go down today, including host nation Cameroon. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We're still on the AFCON segments. Nigeria over the weekend losing their 100% clean sheet record against Sudan. It was a penalty that was considered by Olaino. Hani has been speaking about that incident.
There's always a little bit of shirt holding in the box. And I was just watching the ball. I didn't see when I stepped on his foot. But these things happen, you know. Luckily, we was already 3-0 up. And even after they put it away, I still felt that I was in control of the game. So we're lucky for that. We have to go into the game with confidence. we have to go into it with full determination that we can get another 3 points and send signals out to the competition.
Yeah.
It's all about laying down the marker. That's what the Super Eagles are aiming to do in their last game against Guinea-Bissau at the AFCON. Let me come to you straight away and ask you, have you noticed any drop-off in quality whenever Augustin Eguavoin starts to make those subs in the second half? Yeah.
Well, you can't really blame him. Some top players couldn't make it due to injury and COVID-19. So he stopped with some of the players on the bench. So it's left for the players to justify their inclusion. Yes, I think in this game that we are reviewing against Sudan, he brought in Nwakali. Nwakali also came on in the first game against when we beat Egypt. But he did better against Sudan. Maybe because
we had more time to...
Yeah, he had more time on the ball. Then Sudan is not as difficult as Egypt. So, but you need these games to get into the groove of the squad. Then for even Eguavoin admitted that Sadiq Umar, the first game against Egypt, that he complained about certain things. The second game too, he really didn't justify the minutes he was given. Maybe because the team really is not playing to. I've seen some of his goals for Algeria. He's a striker that likes supplies.
Yeah.
Playing, scoring from the penalty box. So maybe this may not be his tournament really, because Awoni is doing so well, putting pressure, pressing very high as a striker, putting the opponent's defense line under pressure. So it's difficult for him to gain more time than Awoni. Eguavoin is stuck with Awoni because he's delivering. You don't really blame him. But for some of the players who have come in, Ejuke was a bit selfish in the first game against Egypt. Maybe he was going for glory. Perhaps if he had played more with the team, maybe he could have also come on for Simon. But which coach will remove Simon?
Simon, yeah.
He's having a hell of a
warrior.
Hell of a match. And you cannot stop his momentum. He could turn around to become the star of this tournament, the way he's doing. He's winning the man of the match, and his overall contribution defensively, very crucial.
I'm just going to talk about Chukwueze briefly. I mean, from his performance in the first game, he was heavily criticized, and then we saw the starting lineup. Eguavoin also started him. He had that trust and confidence in him, and he scored the first goal, given assist. But after that, it's like we didn't see much of him. Although he was substituted much later.
Yeah, some of these players, during training, they dazzle, they give the coach impression that this guy is good to go. But maybe Chukwueze Eguavoin needs to really sit him down and talk to him. He's a very good player.
Yeah, he is.
Good for the national team, but he needs to play more with the team than going for glory. You're not going to be Messi or Ronaldo. Then the spotlight is on you. This is African football. You could get injured. Release the ball as quick as possible so that you can create openings for your teammates. If he does that, I think he's going to have a very good tournament.
Yeah, right. Hopefully Chukwueze continues to get better as the competition progresses. Austin is still with us as well, too. Austin, let me come back to you on this quickly before we leave the Super Eagles. And I asked Onye about the drop-off in quality whenever Augustin Eguavoin starts to make those substitutions. The reason I asked is because of the next game against Guinea-Bissau. Nigeria qualified already with that game to spare. So perhaps you'll be thinking of making changes and giving players that haven't featured, the likes of Henry Onyekuru, to get some game time. But in terms of quality between the starting 11 and the subs, is it so wide that you think Augustin Eguavoin is going to go with the usual starters?
Yeah, I think he will try some new players. It's important that we see, other players, but still work with the combinations. Let's still see more partnerships. For instance, we saw Chidera Ejuke in the first game against Egypt. It would have been good to see him again against Sudan. So hopefully we'll get to see more of him against Guinea-Bissau. It's very, very important. We'll also get to see Frank Onyeka because I think he's got some quality, and this is football where anything can happen. So hopefully he will get a chance to play. I still want to know what Coach Austin Eguavoin wants to do with Kelechi Nwakali. So let's see Kelechi Nwakali, assess him properly, see that creativity that everybody is yearning for in the Super Eagles, and then, you know, we take it up from there. I'm thinking he will not rest any of the back line because it's important to keep that partnership going. But maybe we'll need to see a little bit of Olisanda because it is in games like these when you're getting to the crucial stage that football gets funny. Somebody might get injured now that we'll need in the knockout stage. So it's up to the coach, but I would like to see more combinations and partnerships. So far, we can tell that he knows the starting 11.
Yeah.
He gave us the same thing he started against Egypt, and it seems to be working for him. And if it's not broken, don't fix it. But in this state where we are relaxed, let's see Henry Onyekuru, let's see Peter Olayinka, let's see more of Alex Iwobi, you know, and then so people can, you know, do the assessment. The technical crew can also watch and say, okay, this guy can act as a joker. This guy can come around and reform things. This one, we know he will just stay and stabilize things. So it's very, very important.
Yeah, very interesting to see how Augustine Iguavoin handles that situation on Wednesday against Guinea-Bissau. Action will continue today at the AFCON. The defending, the host nation, rather, that's Cameroon, will be looking to make it 3 wins out of 3. They'll be taking on Cape Verde later on today. There's also Burkina Faso versus Ethiopia. Those 2 games are off at the AFCON today. Oh, yeah, Cameroon. What's there to say again?
Yeah, they will want to win and top the group. I mean, send jitters down the spine of their next opponents. I mean, it's psychology.
Yeah.
You don't want to drop any points against Cape Verde. Cape Verde also will fancy their chances because they have 3 points, the same points with Burkina Faso. Ethiopia are already out of contention. So it's going to be a tough game. The Cape Verdeans are very, very eager to play good football. Very eager. They are not afraid to play football, to go forward, you know, search for goals and all that. So, but I fancy Cameroon because they are really, really on top of their game with the inspiration from their fans and everything going on for them. Vincent Abubakar is the top scorer with 4 goals, so he could also be looking to, you know, add to his goals tally. So, I think the game really is Burkina Faso taking in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, when the team is down, it's very dangerous. They could hurt you. So if you are not careful, they could spoil your chances, and Cape Verde could nick it. But with 3 points from what I'm seeing from all the groups, I think about some teams have 4 points. So if you have 3 points, you may need 1 more point to be able to get a slight chance of making it to the round of 16.
All right, so for you, Cameroon to win against Cape Verde, in spite of the fact that they've qualified for the last 16 already, they're not going to relent in their efforts at all. That's exactly what Collins Fai has been talking about as well.
We know we have qualified, but we need to continue winning. We need to continue building our confidence. We need to continue learning. We've made a lot of mistakes in the past 2 games. We want to correct these mistakes and be looking forward to the 8th final. So we are not going having in mind that we have qualified. We want to win.
Welcome back to the non-AFCON segments. Of course, all the sporting events went down over the weekend, including the Nigerian Professional Football League Match Day 6. We have some amazing results for you. We're going to be taking you through those results right about now. Rangers International 2-0 over MFM. MFM, the very, very tough season continues for MFM. Wiki Tourist lost at home against Remo Stars. Remo Stars, wow.
That's still the only away win.
Still unbeaten as well, too. What a start to the season for Gbenga Ogumbote and his boys. Elsewhere, it was goalless between Enyimba and Gombe United, while the biggest result of match day 6 came in the matchup between Plateau United and Dakada, 5-0. That's how that one ended. Rivers United 3-0 over Kwara United, while in the Battle of the Stars between Shooting and Sunshine, it ended 2 apiece in Ibadan. All right, guys.
Okay.
Let's start with Plateau, the biggest result of the weekend. 5-0 over Dakar.
Nobody saw it coming.
5-0.
You know, Dakar were banished to the Samuel Ogbomodiya Stadium. Their first game, we thought, you know, having played outside their home ground, they were going to falter, but they came out very late, secured 2-win victory against Nasarawa United. So we thought, you know, they going into Jos, they you know, they have the right momentum. But 5-0, it's shocking.
That's
the biggest scoreline of the season. And for Plateau United and Coach Ilechukwu, I think they will be having a lot of celebration in Jos, and their fans will be, you know, thinking that perhaps this team that won the Premier League twice in the last 5 years could have something up their sleeve for this season again. Then Rangers against MFM. Tayo, you said that MFM are...
No, but we'll come to Rangers and MFM later on. But Austin, let's go to Austin for the rest of the analysis on Plateau United and Dakar. 5-0. Austin, I'm not going to say, but you know what's up with Dakar.
The goals were
we know your connections with those clubs from those parts of Nigeria. What's going on?
Are you enjoying the goals right now? I mean, started from the 16th minute till the 77th minute. It kept rolling on.
It's a good game of football. This is what we want to see in the Nigeria Professional Football League. You know, they are getting what they deserve. When you distract your season yourself, this is what you get. So being banished, you know, out of Uyo, they are beginning to feel it now. Whether or not they are playing at home or away, that has done something to their mentality. But that doesn't take anything away from the quality showed by Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu and his Plateau United side. As Onyiwuchi mentioned, this is not a smart team. I kept questioning the performance of Plateau United when Coach Abdul Maikaba was there, because I'm saying they've got fantastic players, you know, and they've been consistent in keeping the team together. So I kept wondering why they were struggling all through last season. So maybe with this fresh start now with Coach Ilechukwu and them willing to show that they are not a small side, maybe Plateau United can do something this season. There's just 6 games now, 9 points, nothing compared to the guys at the top, but that's a good place to be at the start of the season.
You're spot on now, talking about Fidelis Ilechukwu. He's been speaking following that incredible, fantastic performance against Dakar. Let's take a listen to him.
This is what we bargained with the players. We designed for this. For a team like Dakar playing away, playing home in a way, and they won with Nasarawa United, we have to plan well for them. At least, this is just the beginning. As I earlier said, the other day we played, I was being asked about this scoring. And I told you, our responsibilities is to teach and coach the boys. But we are not responsible. We cannot go into the field and play for them. And we went back to the drawing board to adjust 1 or 2 things, and the boys carried the day again.
Game could go like that if the team loses focus, and we took it very massive, and I think it's just the way it goes. Sometimes it goes like that. Sometimes it does not go your way. Fine, we'll take it.
As the coach of Dakar, sometimes these things don't just go your way. 5-0, maybe it was just a bad day at the office for Dakar FC. All right, so let's leave Dakar's debacle against Plateau United and go to Ibadan and talk about the exciting matchup between Sunshine Stars and Shooting Stars. That game ended 2-apiece. By all accounts, it was a very, very exciting game from the guys that saw it.
Yeah, Sunshine Stars and Shooting Stars always, you know, keenly contested.
Always tight.
Even when they got demoted, I've watched a game between these two sides when they were in the lower league. It was tension-soaked. So I was not really expecting anything. Shooting Stars went ahead, then Sunshine came back, then also scored the second goal before Wasiu Alalade now equalized for Shooting Stars. And Sunshine Stars are raising eyebrow about some of the goals and all that. But, I mean, this is, you can't take away the quality. You can't take away the commitments and everything that both teams put into the game, the fans will go home very happy seeing this kind of football. And for Shooting Stars, they have dropped some points at home this season. And if really they don't try to do something as soon as possible, then maybe they could be swimming in relegation waters. Then after that game, Tayo and Cecilia, the commissioner for sports with length gave the technical crew 3-match ultimatum. In fact, he said the ultimatum started with this game, so that they should win 3 matches. So now they have drawn this one. So they have 2 matches to
remedy the situation.
He was emphatic that they were going to be sacked if they don't
6 games, 6 points.
win 3 matches.
6 games, 6 points. Austin, I mean,
look at that strike. What a goal.
That's the Sunshine Stars equalizer. That was fantastic before Shooting Stars were able to equalize and made it 2-2. So Sunshine Stars could have come down to their home ground and also win that game. I mean, look at the crowd, the way they turn out. Maybe that's why the Commissioner for Sport is really upset. Austin, Shooting Stars coming back into the Premier League and having this ultimatum, is it the right thing? Because they're just actually, yes, Shooting Stars is one of the top leagues, top clubs in the country, but they've been in NNL and they're coming into the MPFL with top other clubs in it, but giving them that 3-match ultimatum, 2 more now because the game against Sunshine Stars ended 2-2.
Yeah, and the ultimatum seemed to work in the Nigeria professional football leagues. Maybe that's why you know, states are always using it. But you know, it will pays the piper dictates the tune. So I don't know, but why are you putting so much pressure on the team? It's just match day 6 and they're just getting into the league. They are just looking at the name Shooting Stars, that it's a big team in Nigerian League football and that they're supposed to be beating everybody. It doesn't work like that. And this is a Southwest derby. The commissioner should know that, you know, because when Sunshine Stars and Shooting Stars meet, then you expect it to be a very tight contest. And that's what we saw. 4 goals and then beautiful football. The fans came out. I think they shouldn't put pressure on Shooting Stars. Instead, do the things they are supposed to do to make, you know, players motivated. Take care of welfare, make sure that the pitch is in right condition, you know, take care of everything that should be taken care of off the field, and the players will try to deliver on the pitch. So ultimatum's working in the MPFL. Remember when Abia Warriors were struggling last season? The moment they gave Coach Imama 3-match ultimatum, they started winning. In fact, I think they went 5 games unbeaten. So maybe it might just work for them this time, or just even destroy their league ambitions already.
Yeah. Maybe, but they should be celebrating that Wasiu Alala, they actually gave them that point. That's what they should be celebrating, because Sunshine Stars could have collected all 3 points from Ibadan. So let's leave that and quickly talk about Remo Stars. Remo Stars happened to be the only team that got an away win. I mean, it was a spectacular one for them, going all the way to Wiki Tourist and earning that vital 3 points. That game ended 2-1. I mean, this team remained unbeaten after match day 6. Should we be maybe looking at title contenders, or it's still too early to call because it's just match day 6?
It's too early, Cecilia, but they deserve all the praise. They deserve our commendation. Not just because of what they're doing on the pitch, but because they're trying to run the club professionally. You know, I spoke to Coach Benga Ogumbote, you know, after the last match day, and he told me that they will keep respecting teams. I said, really? You're respecting teams getting all the points, you know? So the fact that teams are playing Remo, newly promoted, small team, they'll continue to stun them. But what a story. After 6 matches, still unbeaten, on top of the table, Remo Stars. Wow, this is the 2nd away win of the season for the team. Oh, no, they are telling us a beautiful story. So let's watch Remo Stars closely. I said it last week. I'll say it again. If they continue this way till maybe March day 15, they will do what Leicester City did in England.
March day 15.
We'll see about that. They're getting closer to double figures in the MPFL in terms of match day. 4 more. So, but then, you've got to start taking them seriously now. Come on.
Obviously.
2 away wins.
Obviously. They beat Atlant 3-0 at home. The only point they dropped at home was against Nasarawa.
Nasarawa, yeah.
They played goalless, and they've gone away to the north. You know, we are saying it. By the time they start going to the north, they went to Dakada. They also drew. So it's showing that they have character, they have consistency, and the players are beginning to believe in themselves. And if they continue like this, everything is really working out for them. If they continue like this, then they can fast see their chances of winning the title. So let's
winning the title.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we'll see.
If you go to the Tafawa Balewa Stadium in Bauchi and get a victory, Enyimba went to Gombe. As big as Enyimba, they went to Gombe. They got a draw. Goalless. I was reading the match reports. Even Firidi George admitted that the Gombe United team played very good football in the first half. Olorunleko Ojoyinba's goalkeeper, saved their blushes, made some fantastic saves in the first half.
It's amazing.
So let's give them the credit.
Of course. For Raymond, they were 2 goals up before Equatorial were able to reduce the deficit. So it shows how good they are.
All right, guys, we need to go on a break now. Before we go on a break, in case you missed the summer, Rafael Benitez has been sacked as the coach of Everton after just 6.5 months in charge. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, we've got updates for you from the Australian Open, the first major of the year. Join us again.
The orders of the court are: 1, the amended application be dismissed with costs, such costs to be agreed or failing agreement assessed. 2, reasons to be published at a later date. Those are the orders of the court.
World number 1 Novak Djokovic loses his last gasp bid to avoid deportation from Australia on Sunday, ending a sensational legal battle over his coronavirus vaccination status. An extremely disappointed Djokovic has complied with the unanimous federal court ruling that upheld the government's right to rip up his visa over fears he's stoking anti-vaccine sentiment. There are divided opinions on the decision to cancel Djokovic's visa to enter Australia, with some saying it was a fair decision and supporters blaming politics.
I have a 12-year-old, I have a niece and nephew that play elite tennis that haven't been able to play at all throughout this whole pandemic, and to get back to playing had to have their double vaccination to be even being allowed to train. Fair's fair. For children to have no choice about the matter, to play their sport that they love and they're dedicated, and they have see him as a hero to aspire to. I think fair's fair. That will be my opinion on the matter.
And there's been too many instances of people being locked out of their own state and because of the COVID restrictions, and I don't think it's fair that he'd be allowed to come in, to be honest. So I think it's the right decision.
Well, he came here to play tennis, and he had an exemption to come here and play tennis. He was allowed to come here, and that's what he should be doing.
It's a political stuff.
This is just so political.
Serbian President Alexander Vučić has strongly criticized Australia's handling of the situation.
If you only made it clear that whoever is not vaccinated cannot enter the country, Novak Djokovic either wouldn't have gone or he would have got vaccinated.
The unanimous ruling by a 3-judge federal court bench dealt a final blow to Djokovic's hopes of chasing a record 21st Grand Slam win at the Australian Open that starts on Monday.
The saga is over, and all focus turns now to action on the court, not in the courts. And Rafael Nadal, first up on the court, he's started his campaign, his bid to win a record 21st Grand Slam with a very convincing victory over Marcos Giron, 6-1, 6-4, 6-2. That's how that game ended in favor of the Spaniard Rafael Nadal. So Rafael Nadal is through to the second round of the Australian Open. Oye and Cecilia and Austin, I think we're just glad that the drama is over with Djokovic and attention can return to the actual tennis because, Cecilia, it's been an absolute mess right from the start until the end, and we just want to forget it quickly.
Yeah, we saw pictures of him arriving in Dubai to take a flight back to Serbia. But it's a PC that will not be having the defending champion, 9-time the king of Melbourne, not in Melbourne to defend his title. Austin, before we let you go quickly, your thoughts on the saga of Novak Djokovic and the fact that finally attention is on the tennis court.
I'm just happy the 10-day saga is over because it wasn't doing any good for tennis, and I like that they've done it just before, you know, the Australian Open started. But I think that this was an unforced error by Australian government and Tennis Australia. There's no way they didn't have a hand in this, you know, because Djokovic brought the exemption. He was allowed to come in. The organizers of the Australian Open, they know that they want the champ to compete, but they didn't just communicate properly. Well, the show must go on. Action has started, and those who want to win the title have started competing. It's just sad because Djokovic really wanted to compete. They love him in Melbourne. He has won his most Grand Slams in Melbourne. And for it to end this way, it's quite sad, but as I said, the show must go on.
It must go on. Well, Austin, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hopefully, we'll see you on Friday.
Always a delight to talk sports with you guys. We'll see you again. Thank you.
All right, cheers, Austin. Yeah, we're talking about Rafael Nadal. The guys are in Melbourne competing. Nadal, obviously, pictures he's won his own game. So he's through to the second round, largely untroubled in that matchup against his American opponent, Nigerian. Straight sets. That's what the Spaniard needed to advance to the second round. Improved to 4-0 for the year, having won his 89th title at the Melbourne Somerset in week 1. It was very, very convincing in this game. Dropped just 8 points on his first serve and hit 34 winners, including 7 aces. The match lasted just 1 hour. 49 minutes. Also through to the second round. Yeah, kind of vintage. Yeah. Also through to the second round in the women's section is...
defending champion, of course, Naomi Osaka. Yeah, a good performance from her against Camila Osorio. She was playing 6-3, 6-3. It ended. She didn't break a sweat. So for her, she has won 23 of her past 24 matches in Melbourne. So really, there's a first round showdown that we should be expecting against, well, Ashley Barty. World number 1 and
let them get there first.
But this one, she started on a very imperious start, racing to 5-0 lead after just 16 minutes before she just went on 8 winners, plus 7 unforced errors from Osorio, and then she was able to get that victory. Before we leave Australian Open quickly, I mean, Djokovic saga, Rafael Nadal, Naomi Osaka, these ones are ready to defend the title. Nadal is looking for 21 right here, since there's no Djokovic, but he's got other stars to look out for.
Well, Rafael Nadal will fancy his chances. I mean, in the absence of Djokovic, which has obviously robbed some form of shine out of the tournament. Yeah. Well, what can the players do? This is not in their hands, so they have to move on. So, I mean, he had a very easy game in less than 1 hour, 14 minutes. Then Naomi Osaka also doing so well. So the top seeds are marching on. And we hope that we want to see very good tennis. We want to see very tough games. And we hope that they can give us all these things to make up for all the saga, all the drama that happened that led to Djokovic leaving Melbourne, Australia.
It's just
all right.
just
NBA
crazy,
quickly, Tyler. Just run through before look at the papers.
Yeah, just the 4 games in the NBA.
Just 4 games, not much.
Yeah, let's just run through the results for you. Wins for the Phoenix Suns. They were victorious on the night. The Kings as well, 2-1 a game, as well as the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Utah Jazz. Let's take a look at the papers before we close the show.
Do I have to read 1 or 2 mail?
All right,
I think I actually love this one coming from SD Nagudu. He says, I have a dream that Super Eagles lifted the AFCON trophy. I noticed how all of us are smiling with the way Super Eagles are performing. The happiness we are now is like the carryover of happiness we have in the last 5 years. This is what we lost in the last 5 years of Raw's time. I'm very much happy God bless Nigeria.
Yeah, I see a bit of recency bias going on right there, but it's all good.
Obviously. It's on tweet. Okay. Okay, there's a Noble Flyer man. The tweet says, romance with Gennett Rock continues even after he was fired. As he said, Super Eagles' performance was more of the players, not the coach. I disagree. Okay, he's talking to Austin. Is that Gennett Rock was simply incompetent and technically deficient. Okay, come on. Moses Simon has validated that he's coming home, okay? Take this one from Olatubosun. Said the results from the shocker Sunday match is appointed that there is no more minnows in African football. It's an end-to-end. It's an end of an era for Algeria. And Iroa says, kudos Super Eagles, both finishing tidy. So they should keep finishing tidy. All right, papers now.
Start with sports and life.
Okay. Sports and life, that's what I'm starting with. Okay, complete sports. Complete sport right here, NFM. We didn't set Eguavo in any AFCON targets. Okay. Equatorial Guinea ends Algeria's 35-match unbeaten run. Guinea-Bissau will do everything to defeat Super Eagles, as according to Monaco defensive midfielder Pelé. He remains defiant. Okay. Bring them on. Awazim still missing as Super Eagles begin preparations for Guinea-Bissau clash. Olaino is sad for a defense. Okoye over my indiscretion. Okay, talking about his penalty that he cost right there.
Wasn't costly, so it's all good.
It wasn't, so we
Let's
already
go to
3 goals
sports and life quickly. Expect Eagles Team B against Guinea-Bissau.
Okay.
Really?
Team B.
All right.
Really?
So
we're going to see a lot of changes.
He's right here, so you should explain it to us.
Well, you have. I followed their training yesterday, and Peter Lionka was, quite impressive.
Prominent.
So maybe if he continues that way, he could get a starting lineup against Guinea-Bissau. Why not? He's been doing so well for his team in Europe. So you don't just get called up to come and make up the numbers. It shows that you have something to contribute. You mentioned Henry Onyekuru. He could also, get some time and show what he can do. You see, this is a very strange tournament because of the COVID-19. So resting some players because of injury and all that, is very key. We pray that none of the players test positive. We see how Senegalese were decimated. Idrissa Gueye, Mendy have not been able to play because of COVID-19. So I think you have to balance the squad. Against Guinea-Bissau, bring in some players that have shown quality that have not been playing before. Let's see how it goes.
All right. Final one, spot is on quickly. Super Eagles round of 16. Super Eagles may face Algeria or Senegal or Tunisia, and we are here to lift the trophy, says Eguavo in that Sporting Sun. And also, Javier Ahmed Musa denies crisis in Eagles camp and Sudan more difficult than Egypt. That's according to Moses Simon. All right, that's it for the show this morning. Uchi, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate your time. Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a fantastic day.